Yo, see me talking about hoops, keep it real all day. Tune into the podcast with Jennifer Porte. Got the latest stats for you, got lots to say. She gon' break it down for you, alright, okay. She got the scoop on the players, she gon' tell it all. Tune in to Let's Talk Man and Basketball. Yo, what's that shooting average? Who's the best of all? How they performing when they're back against the wall? And yeah, she got the facts when you looking for truth. She gon' tell you who's the best at a 3-point shoot. Yo, who's the one the team's trying to recruit? Yo, tune in to get the greatest and the latest scoop. It go, Let's Talk Man and Basketball. I said let's talk man and basketball. Hey yo, talk man and basketball. Yo, let's talk man and basketball.
What's up, basketball fans? Welcome to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Men and Basketball podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porte. In today's episode, we're going to dig into the NBA playoff drama, update you on Damian Lillard's injury, and we're going to talk a little bit about the University of Florida's men's basketball team who just won the national championship. Also, stick around because we're going to be joined by an actor who played in the movie Blue Chips, which is one of my favorite basketball movies. For those of you who have not seen the movie Blue Chip, it's a really good movie. It's a movie about a college basketball coach named Pete Bells. And before I tell you a little bit about the movie, let me just give you a backstory of how 90s basketball in college was ran. So, in today's world, players are allowed to get endorsement deals. They're allowed to get paid by colleges. However, back in the 90s, players was not allowed to get endorsement deals. They were not allowed to take money while they are in college. Well, Pete Bells in the movie, he's a college basketball coach who's having a losing season. So he decides to recruit some of the top players by offering them money, giving their family houses, buying the players' cars, just doing illegal stuff that he's not supposed to be doing. And you guys will have to watch the movie to see what happens next. It's a really good cast. The actor that we're going to have on the show is Anthony C. Hall, who's a really good actor. You guys probably seen him in Moesha, the TV show Moesha, for those of you who watched that back in the day. He also played in a lot of well-known movies, including Sunset Park, which is another basketball movie. So the conversation that I had with him was really good, and we dig into all of that. So stick around for that. You do not want to miss this. We're going to start off today's segment with an injury update. Damian Lillard from the Milwaukee Bucks is expected to miss the start of the NBA playoff due to a blood clot. While he's been sidelined since March 18th, the Bucks remain hopeful that he will return, but there's no clear timeline of when he's going to return. Blood clot has been well known in the NBA lately. I don't know if you guys remember, but Chris Bosh had to end his NBA career due to a blood clot. So I'm just curious to know why some athletes are having blood clot issues all of a sudden. If we have any physical therapists or athletic trainers listening to this segment, educate me a little bit in the comments to let me know what are the causes of these blood clots for these NBA players or any athlete in general. The 2025 NBA playoff is officially here, kicking off with an intense play-in tournament that decides the final seeds. The Golden State Warriors and the Orlando Magic clinched the number 7 seed in the West and the East, with the Warriors set to face off against the Houston Rockets, and the Orlando Magic are going against the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, in the first round. Now, before you guys start thinking that the Orlando Magic are cooked, I think not. The Orlando Magic could possibly upset the Boston Celtics. Yes, I said it. The Orlando Magic could possibly upset the Boston Celtics. The last time these two teams matched up was on April 9th, and the Orlando Magic defeated the Boston Celtics 76-96. So, for those of you who thinking they're cooked, I will hold your horses on that because the Orlando Magic is a really good team. They're number 2 in the NBA on defense. So, y'all just want to watch out for the Orlando Magic. I could see them knocking off the Boston Celtics. Don't come at me in the comments. Other key matchups includes the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're taking on the number 8 seed in the East. It hasn't been decided yet who the number 8 seed will be, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. For the West, the Oklahoma City Thunders is also getting ready to play a number 8 seed. So that's going to be a matchup to watch for as well. The NBA playoff begins on April 19th, which is tomorrow. So be sure to tune in. It's going to be an exciting postseason And I just can't wait to see who's going to take their team to the championship this year. Let me know in the comments who you guys think will win the NBA Finals. In college basketball news, the Florida Gators men's basketball team secured their third national championship, defeating the University of Houston. Their senior guards, Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richards, played a pivotal role in their success. Clayton had 11 points and Will had 18 points, and they reared them to victory. In our next segment, we're chopping it up with the hilarious actor Anthony C. Hall, who played in basketball movies like Blue Chips and Sunset Park. So stay tuned. When it comes to transforming your space inside and out, Keys & Sons deliver top quality service that stands the test of time. From concrete finishing to pressure cleaning, toweling, and junk hauling, whatever the job is, Keys & Sons gets it done with skill, speed, and integrity. Upgrade your space by calling the pros at Keys & Sons today at 772-383-9983. 772-383-9983, where top quality service meets total transformation. Also, visit Keys & Sons website at www.keysandsons.com. www.keysandsons.com. Welcome back to Let's Talk Men in Basketball podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty, and today we are joined by a talented actor known for his roles in films like Blue Chips and Sunset Park. His background also includes playing basketball alongside Hollywood legends at the Hollywood YMCA and making guest appearances in popular TV shows like Moesha and NYPD Blue. So without further ado, please welcome multi-talented actor Anthony H. Hall to Let's Talk Men in Basketball podcast. Hi, Anthony. How are you doing today?
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you for even reaching out to me. So what's going on? Give me the questions.
You're welcome. So can you take us back to the beginning? How did you first started acting? What got you?
When I first started acting, I played college basketball in Hawaii at Chaminade University of Hawaii. And then I left school early because me and my coach wasn't really getting along. And I used to play basketball at the Hollywood YMCA after I left college. Hollywood YMCA were a bunch of my friends were like Denzel Washington, Arsenio Hall, Wesley Snipes, Ron Shelton, who wrote White Man Can't Jump, and Blue Chips. Who else? Silk Kozar, who done numerous movies. So there's a lot of actors and actresses. Kevin Benton, Jerome Benton from the time. So it was a lot of people within that film industry, and they kind of talked me into the whole acting thing. There was a audition for a commercial in another gym that we were working out, but it was another gym and they kind of talked me into going over there and auditioning for the part, and I ended up getting it.
Oh, wow.
And it was some basketball stuff. So because basketball was easy for me because I jumped high and I had that physical stuff like Michael Jordan. So it was just easy for me. And I got the part. And that's where it started.
Wow. Did you ever imagine when you was a child that you would end up in major Hollywood film?
Not at all. Not at all. There was never a thought. I was always a class clown, but I never thought about, film and television, shit. I mean, I got to work with Tupac Shakur. Like, I would have never thought that. Bigger years, even in adulthood, I would have thought.
What was that like working with Tupac? Hello.
Working with Tupac was amazing. Tupac is, a chameleon. You can take him from the hood in New York to LA, and he knows how to conduct himself. Then you can put him in an office full of suits with white faces, and he knows how to conduct himself. You put him in different situations, and he knows how to adjust and mold right into being just a likable person amongst those people.
Wow, yeah, he seemed like a very genuine. So
Yeah,
basketball
for sure.
basketball is such a huge part of Blue Chip and Sunset Park. How did you prepare for those roles, especially the physical aspect of the film?
Well, the physical aspect, the basketball stuff was easy for me. It was easier for Sunset Park than it was for Blue Chips, because Blue Chips, there were some really good athletes in that movie. You know, I mean, not just Shaquille and Penny and my guy Matt Nover, but there were Chris Mills to, there's a lot of major athletes, college players that played in there. And I played at a really small school. So my basketball ability was good, but it wasn't as good. And I have to acknowledge that. I was a really good basketball player because I was athletic, handled the ball a little decent, not a great shooter, but I did hit a shot in the movie. But other than that, the rest of the guys there were really, really good. And that was the hardest part for me was more the acting stuff, because I came from commercials. And so that was the most difficult part for me, was the acting stuff.
Oh. How did you overcome becoming a phenomenal actor in that film? Because I believe that was your first role and you did an amazing job. So I would have never thought that you...
without question. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely my first biggest role. And true story. So this is what snapped me out of, let me figure this acting stuff out. So the first day I'm filming the dormitory scene where Nick Nolte comes into the dorm and asks me if I shave points. And Nick Nolte and I have rehearsed the scene over and over and over and over again with the director. I got this. I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I did in that rehearsal. Unfortunately, my director, William Friedkin, rest in peace, William Friedkin, he wanted something else. But instead of verbally telling me he wanted something else, he would come in screaming and yelling, Tony, what the fuck is going on here? Get my fucking scene. Boom, we take off, go back out there, action. I'll start again, doing the exact same thing. And he'll just come in, bust through the door. Boom, Tony, what the fuck is going on? Screaming at him. So I'm looking at Nick Nolte like, bro, what is he talking about? This is how we rehearse it. Nolte doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. So let's say he did that 4 times, 5 times. And then he goes to, Tony, do you trust me? I was like, yeah, I trust you. Do you fucking trust me? Yeah. He said, you're going to be a fucking big star after this. Do you trust me? I'm still waiting on that big star thing. But you're going to be a big star after this. Do you trust me? I was like, yeah, I trust you. And he goes, back. Slaps the shit out of me. I get my fucking scene and walks out. I was like, Nick Nolte turns his head like, I don't know. That's how Nolte talks.
Yeah.
And so now I know where he wants me to go. My thing was, he could have verbally told me he wanted me to go to a different level because we rehearsed something totally different. And yeah, so that's when you get the crying scene.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
But I'm not the first one, because he did it to Angie Everhart in the movie Jade, and he did it to Linda Blair in The Exorcist. So that was kind of his technique. Yeah. Wasn't the best. The Paramount Pictures should be called Tony's Pictures right now. But it's I should have sued his ass, but now it's too late now. But yeah.
Yeah. What was it like working alongside Nick and Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway? What was that like? Well,
me and Shaquille were friends before that, because we used to play ball with Magic Johnson at UCLA during the summers as young players. So we had already developed a rapport relationship. Nick Nolte, I was a little more afraid of working with him than anything because he's Nick Nolte. Yeah, and all of my scenes were with Nick Nolte, so that was a little scary. But I think that first day with the slap and get my fucking scene, I think after that I was good. Yeah. I was one take Tony after that.
Wow.
Yeah, I was one take Tony after that. I'm not trying to get this man and have this white man slap me again. So let me get this thing straight. Where do you want me to go, son?
Yes. So I know you share a behind the scenes moment between you and the director. Do you have any other behind the scene moment in Blue Ship or Sunset Park that stands out to you?
Sunset Park. I want to tell you a Sunset Park story. Very funny. So, again, I come from being an athlete. I'm not a thespian. I'm not someone who went to college for acting. I never had an acting class. And a lot of the guys from Sunset Park, one in particular, gosh darn it, why can't I think right now? And anyway, he was a little jealous of the fact that I got a part, and I had more dialogue than he did. Sean Michael Howard was his name. Sean Michael Howard. He and I are cool friends. I love him to death right now. But at that time, he didn't like the fact that I had, and because I would acknowledge the fact that this guy was a really good actor. He was like a thespian, like someone who went to school for it. He was better than me, acting-wise, I would assume. But I think the biggest thing was the fact that athletically, basketball-wise, I looked more the part. Again, my physical, Michael Jordan thing, all that kind of stuff. But if I wanted to pick him over me as playing a doctor role, then I'm going with him because that guy he's got the chops. I didn't have those kind of chops. Anyway, so he would kind of needle me, talk shit behind my back. And I was like, why is he always talking shit behind my back? And then one day we were on set, and we were at the school, top of the stairs in New York, and one of Fredro Starr's friends smacked him in the back of the head. And of course, I'm standing there, and he automatically assumed that I did it. And I just told bro, I didn't smack you in the back of the head. He was like, talking. The only reason you got this job is because you look like Michael Jordan and you play basketball. So he was going on with that shit. I said, my man, stop talking to me. I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you. Now Chicago is coming out. South side of Chicago is coming out. I said, man, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. So they end up calming him down. We get back to LA because we shot our interior stuff in LA. Get back to LA. I'm laying in my trailer, and his trailer's behind me. And I hear him, and I think it's Busy B, Antoine Tanner, and DeAndre Bond, Busy. And I hear him talking shit about me again. I'm like, yo, this dude won't stop. And so now I'm out on set. There's no police, there's no white folks around to stop me. I go in his trailer, and I start choking him out.
Oh wow.
Shut the fuck up, I told you to stop talking. Yeah, it got physical. It got really bad. So then at that point he had left because he's mad, upset. And I'm feeling bad for the fact that I did that.
Yeah. So
now he leaves and he goes outside, and I just got a brand new Ford Explorer, and he busted my windows.
Wow.
This on the movie set.
What's that? Wow.
And, yeah, we was going crazy on the movie set. And so they ended up firing him. They charged him for my window and stuff. But both of us, he apologized. Years later, I saw him, and I pulled over. He was riding a bike in Hollywood. I pulled over, and we talked it out, and we hashed it out. He said he was, being immature, and I was like, man, I apologize. I should have never gotten there. And all. So, I mean, I love him to death. He called me about his niece one time. I took his niece to a basketball game here in LA, here in Vegas. So because she had moved out here for something reason, but yeah, he and I straight cool, but that happened.
Yeah, that's really good that you guys were able to forgive and rekindle that relationship. That's good. Most people can't get over stuff like that.
We bounced back from it, but it was an interesting situation.
Wow. Well, going back to the movie Blue Chip, what were your thoughts on the storyline behind point shaving, and how did you approach bringing that role to life? Because you really brought that role to life.
Yeah, I think, you know what, because it was so prevalent back then. Because I remember during the time where we were first, not even just point shaving, even getting monies under the table and stuff like that. Because now you have, NIL deals, and these kids will just get money. It's so easy for them now. Back then, guys was like, I think I worked at the Foot Locker for a week until I got busted, because I was like, we're struggling out here. Because I played college ball in Hawaii, but I was like struggling out there. I'm like, once the little per diem money they gave us, once I took a girl to the movies and bought some toothpaste and toothbrush, I'm broke again. So it was like, now these kids is making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars in NIL. So it was kind of easy. Like even myself, William Freakin, Nick Nolte, and Bobby Knight went to dinner before we started shooting, and Bobby Knight was talking about, players that were asking for monies and all that kind of stuff. And then he mentioned a player that I actually knew, and I was just quiet. I was like, I don't know nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm staying out of this conversation, but it was a friend of mine from Los Angeles. Who he had mentioned during that time. I was like, I can see. I remember the cars that he was driving. Yeah, he probably was. Yeah.
Wow. In the movie Blue Chip, Butch McRae accepted benefits to escape poverty. So do you see any similarities between fictional situations and real life NIL opportunity for athletes with disadvantage?
Because you kind of broke up early on. What did you say?
Okay. So Butch McRae, he accepted benefits to escape poverty. Do you see any similarities between the fictional character in the movie Blue Chip and real life scenarios with the NIL deals?
Oh, no, it's the exact same thing. No, it's the exact same thing. No, it's totally the exact same thing. And a lot of the people and a lot of the parents are taking advantage of it now.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a friend of mine, his son he's got an NIL for football. Can't mention who he is because his uncle is really popular. But he got an NFL in an NIL deal. And mom and them talking about, we're going to get a house out there where he's playing at for the season. And NIL will take care of all that stuff, and the boosters will take care of all that. And it's open. It's okay now. Yeah. Back then, not so much, but now it's okay.
Yeah.
Like Reggie Bush, who went through all that stuff with his parents getting him a house and all that. Now it's okay.
Yeah. Do you think the movie Blue Chip influenced the policy changes with the NCAA?
I don't think Blue Chips did. I think the Bannon brothers did, because they talked about when your likeness on these video games and all that kind of stuff. So the Bannon brothers kind of brought light to, these guys are supposed to get, everybody's getting paid but the players.
Yeah.
Coaches are making millions of dollars. Nike is getting paid. And the shoe companies are getting paid only by endorsement of those schools and people going out and purchasing those shoes and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff right there is just, it's everybody was getting paid but the players. So it was, without question, at some point it's going to have to trickle down to the kids.
Yes.
But the problem is not all the kids benefit from it, especially if you look at football. We get, I don't know, 50 players or 50 plus players, and then you only have the certain stars that are being taken care of, and the other kids are still getting their regular per diems as usual.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Memphis is back in the NCAA tournament under Penny Hardaway. How far do you think his team?
Shouts out Penny.
Yes.
You know what? Penny's not only was he a phenomenal player, but I think he's an amazing coach. So I think that, you know what? If the kids listen to him, I think that's all you need. Just a bunch of guys that listen. Some of these kids today think they know everything, especially with this NIL stuff. That start to have kids stop listening as much, because I'm making this money, whatever. But I think if they listen to him, they'll go far. Yeah. They'll do well. Yeah, they'll definitely do well.
Yeah. When you worked with Penny Hardaway on Blue Ship, did you ever see him coaching in the future?
No, I never saw him coaching I never saw him coaching in his future. It's like, even like Shaquille and I was talking yesterday. Shaquille was like, "Yo, what if I?" So I always go to Shaq voice when I say Shaq.
That's a good impersonation.
Yeah, what if I go and shut everything down and just start coaching? Because LSU is looking for a coach. I was like, "You couldn't do it. Why don't you think I could do it?" I said, "I don't think you could do it because these kids are getting paid too much to listen to your old ass. And you are like, he's like his dad, or like even Dale Harris. Like, he's going to cuss you out. He's going to get in." These kids today don't understand that. They're a little softer. We can get cursed at, and we can understand what he's saying through all the profanity. The profanity to go one ear, and then it leaks out of this ear. It'll be all the things he said that I needed to understand. All right, I need to go in and set the screen a little harder. I need to cut to the basket. I need to be movement. I need to get out on defense and don't let this man get by me, blah, blah, blah. But all the, "you motherfucker," blah, 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 all that was stand up here. Yeah. And it got weeded out and came out of here. What you needed to hear. Now these kids get it, and that profanity stays in there, and they be moping, looking around. No sad, coach cuts me out for everybody. We used to be like, "And my mama cussed me out before I got here. My dad cussed me out before I got here." We used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kids are a little softer. So I don't know if, yeah.
Who do you think will win the NCAA national championship for both men?
Not a clue.
You know,
not a clue. But my girl, you know what? I love Juju.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would love to see her do some, but what's her name? South Carolina. What's her name? Damn it. Not South Carolina.
UConn?
Staley.
Don Staley. Yeah, that's South Carolina.
Yeah. Don. I want her. I think she's angry about something right now. I think she might win again.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think she's a little angry right now, so she might win the whole thing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Blue Ship was remade today, what modern basketball storyline would you include in the movie?
If Blue Chips were remade today, I think that it would be me, Shaq, and Penny, and Matt Nover. We have kids, and all of our kids are playing in different states, and then they are all on the McDonald's All-American team, and they start talking about going to the same schools and all that kind of stuff. But we're dealing with different issues with NIL and stuff like that, and we're trying to keep our. My character just got out of jail. My character just got out of jail, so I'm trying to guide a young man who ain't seen me in years And so he ain't listening. Shaq grew up, he was a millionaire, billionaire. So his kid ain't listening to him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because kids technically, they really don't listen to like even with Shaquille. I think the kids rather listen to a coach who ain't never did shit in the sport than listen to their dad, who's the greatest who's ever played.
That's true.
It's weird how this works.
But I think that's all kids. They don't listen to their parents. They'll listen to a teacher before a parent, a coach before a parent.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, yo, let me show you this YouTube with this man right here before you stop listen to your daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Looking back on your career, what has been most rewarding part of your journey, and what's next for Anthony C. Hall?
I think that looking back on the career, I think it's some of the relationships that I developed. Like even on my page, I look at, like Morris Chestnuts and all the comedians, and I know Denzel. I mean, I always acknowledge when some of those guys are doing something that's coming out on film and or television, and I what do I call it? I call it what do I call that thing segment? Talented friends alert, and I would acknowledge whatever they are doing in my stories. And so I just got to meet so many cool people. Like Shaquille's never met Tupac. So yo, how's Tupac? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can say, yo, I got one upon you. Yeah. I met Tupac. You didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just the people. It's the people I was able to meet along the way. I mean, working with William Friedkin in Blue Chips. William Friedkin directed The Exorcist, The French Connection, To Living Down L.A. So he's done some really great movies, and I can say, yo, I worked with William Friedkin. Like I said, rest in peace. He's since passed away, but yeah, I got to work with some pretty amazing people. Yeah.
Wow. And what's next for you?
Yeah. Right now, I'm working with Shaquille, and I'm actually working on this. A friend of mine had a script that I read years ago, and I thought it was really cool. So I read it again recently because I said we should try to do something with it. As I read it, when I read it, it was like not as it wasn't structurally as good as I thought back then, because I was kind of green, but I still thought it's still a great story. Something needs to be told, and so I took it upon myself to try to punch it up. And being a public school nigga from Southside Chicago is a task for me to write any day. so it's kind of difficult, but I'm gonna work on it. And then I have another television show idea that I had that I'm just going to pitch as well. But yeah, it's just writing, pitching, trying to get stuff out there. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I want to try to do some stuff behind it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for joining Let's Talk Men and Basketball
Again,
podcast.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. I really appreciate you.
Fast. I had to write about that.
I really appreciate you joining Let's Talk Men and Basketball podcast, and I really look forward to seeing what else God has in store for you.
I appreciate you, sweetie, and thank you, and continued success.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too, sweetie.
Nice night. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
You're welcome. That's it for today's episode of Let's Talk Men and Basketball podcast. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Let's Talk Men and Basketball on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Until next time, keep your head in the game.